Does Biollante work in a Godzilla -1 sequel, aka -2? I've been talking about different monsters that may or may not work for the next movie in the minus sort of universe. Biollante is a favorite of mine. She is just, even after one movie and never returning again. We haven't seen her since 1989, and it's crazy to think that, and like, and just to know, like, it's just one single movie, and like, she never made her like huge return, not even like a cameo in Final Wars. They never did it. I always wonder, when were they going to place her again, and then it just didn't happen, or was that never in the talks at Toho? I don't know, but -2 would be very interesting for Biollante. This opinion of mine is probably gonna make people like kind of angry, but even though Biollante is one of my absolute favorite kaiju in the Toho lineup, I think honestly she fits more into the MonsterVerse. Now, that's not to sit here and say that Legendary could do better at Biollante than Toho could. I'm not saying that. It would be really interesting, but I just think with like how Godzilla x Kong was, and how kind of more Showa era-esque the MonsterVerse has gone more of in a sillier direction. Not to say silly is bad, just in a more... We're getting both versions of Godzilla at the same time. We have the serious tone of -1 right now, alongside the MonsterVerse craziness, and I'm loving it. I'm loving that we're able to live in this time where we're seeing both sides of Godzilla like at the same time, and it's really cool, and it's cool to see the directors interact with each other too. Biollante would be really cool, but I just really think she fits more into the MonsterVerse. Now, if they did Biollante for a -2 or -3, I wouldn't complain. I'd be there day one, no matter what they do. My butt will be in that seat on night one. I just think Biollante fits the MonsterVerse better. I would believe her more in the MonsterVerse, just being a plant creature that like takes over the city with her plants, and just like a crazy... It would be sort of the same feeling if like Poison Ivy was introduced in like the Batman franchise. It's sort of that similar, like, I don't know if she like... If you do a Poison Ivy in the Batman series, it really needs to like fit the tone. You know, and I'm not saying it's completely impossible. So if Biollante was in the -1 franchise, you know, they could probably make it work. But I just see her fitting more into a more off-the-wall, like, silly, you know, tone like the Godzilla vs. Kong set of movies is. I could see her fitting more into a Godzilla vs. Kong 3, whatever we're trying to call it. As much as I would love to see Toho come back with Biollante, do their own take, I'm not saying... Now, she is one of my favorites, but I don't know if she'd be my first pick for the very next one, like -2, but maybe -3, or however long they want to take. Or they could do, like, there's another villain, and we do have Biollante sort of on the side, and that's not to say that, you know, she doesn't deserve to be the main villain monster, but she could probably work if, like, there was another monster that was like, hey, like, team up with me, we're gonna take down the big G, something, I don't know, I'm kind of spitballing here. I just think, personally, going forward with the -1 sequels, I think we need monsters that fit the tone more, like an Anguirus, or something, just something more dinosaur-esque, or Rodan. And that I've said in previous videos, I don't know if I want to see King Ghidorah in the Minus series, because it just, like, an alien, unless they want to do some kind of dragon that's also from Earth, I don't know. Or like Gamera, for instance. I could believe a giant turtle in the Minus series over like a plant creature that's also like a sister to Godzilla. Now, they could make it work, but I don't know. Like, they could just introduce Biollante in the MonsterVerse instead, and we kind of get like the best of both worlds. I just think the -1 villain lineup needs to match the -1 tone, or a Gabara. Like, that would be kind of crazy to see him make a return after all this time. Or like I said in the last video, I could see a Godzilla vs. Godzilla fit more into the minus series than I could like Biollante. Now, don't get mad at me because Biollante is absolutely one of my favorites. I just think somebody else would fit better first. But what do you guys think in the comments? Are you ready to see like a Biollante make her return just from her own original studio Toho, or would you rather her fit into something like the Monsterverse, or just get her further down the line in Toho? Let me know down in the comments, like, what you think of this, and what would be your pick, your number one, maybe even list a few monsters, like top 3 monsters you want to see in the minus universe. You know, all of us are going to be looking for like any little news we can get about what Takashi Yamazaki has cooking up for Godzilla next. Hopefully he is doing a -2, but if he does something to do with Godzilla that's not even attached to -1, I'm there for it either way. So guys, I love you. Drop your comments. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. Hit the like button to show YouTube that you're liking and enjoying the content. Pushes it out, helps me out. Love you guys. See you in the next one.